Picks. So before we look at how to hold a pick, we first have to decide which pick is going to be right for you. Let's choose what type of pick is for you. There's so many different types of sizes and colours of picks. There's so many. Which pick is going to be right for you? Now really, I reckon that if you're just starting out guitar, regardless of what instrument that you're playing, if it's electric or acoustic, or if you're picking with a plectrum on nylon string as well, I reckon you should go with the thinnest you can find at around sort of 0.3 to 0.4. Really thin, and it's just to get you used to actually holding the pick and getting used to you having the pick in your hand. There's going to be a lot of give when you hit the string, and it's going to be a little bit forgiving. The thinnest pick, I reckon, is the way to go. And then next up, once you've used that for a few weeks, for a month or two, I'd go up to a 0.5 or a 0.6 like this one that I have here. There's a little less give with the 0.3, and it's going to be a little firmer, a little thicker in your hand, just going to take a little bit of a while to get used to. Then we're coming up to sort of 0.8, 0.9 sort of range of plectrums. Again, a little bit thicker. Really just start listening to the sound of the pick and the feel of the pick and the thickness, and see how that feels like to you. And then finally, I reckon rest at about sort of the 1 millimeter, 0.9 again, sort of a range of pick. Now this has still enough give for the players that like give when they're strumming sort of acoustic guitar and big open chords, things like that. But it still has that firmness for people doing, a lot of different staccato runs and things like that. So many people debate whether one type is better or another. It really depends to you. What feel do you like and what thickness do you like? But I really think to begin with, start with the thinnest pick at about 0.3, 0.4. Just get used to holding that pick in your hand, then slowly make your way up in the first few months of playing until you get up to about 0.8, 0.9, 1 millimeter mark. That's great. That's a really good to begin with. And then just decide, do you like thinner picks? Do you like heavier picks? But it's really best that you try a whole range of picks and just try the different shapes, try the different feels, try a few different brands, and just find a pick that's going to be good for you. Picks. So this is the way that I've found that when you hold the pick in this manner, every technique is equally effective. That is, when you're playing melodies, heavy chords, maybe you've got the pick and you sort of slide it up in your finger and you want to do some tapping stuff as well. This is the best sort of method to keep them all equally as effective. So what you would do is make a closed fist, not tight in any way. Extend your index finger, bend it like a hook, and then at the end of the index finger, on the opposite side of the nail, use the back part of the pick to match that groove. Not the pointy side of the pick, the back part of the pick. The idea is that when you close your index finger, you'll be left with nothing but the tip of the pick that'll be pointing out from your closed hand. What this means is that when you play guitar, any guitar, your hand and the pick will be working effectively. That is, that the pick will be flat against the strings. It's not going to be pointing at a funny angle. It'll be flat against the strings the entire time, and this will make chords and melodies that much easier to play, and they'll sound bigger and fuller. Picks. Once you've learned how to hold the pick effectively, what do you do with the rest of your hand? Does the rest of your hand fan out like that? Does it come in close? Is it tight like a fist? Is it anchored? And when I say anchored, I mean it's touching the guitar like that. What are you going to do? Well, I really found that the best way is to have your hand free floating. That is, it's not anchored in any way, and it's a light sort of fist. It's not closed all the way, it's not tight, there's no pressure, it's just a light fist. When you are sort of playing different chording patterns or different melodies, you're going to be using the same technique overall, and that's really what's important. You can't always be thinking, oh, I'm going to go for some big bar chords, and so I'm going to need all the free room I can get, so I can't anchor here. But now I want to shred, so does that mean I have to anchor here? Don't worry about that. You want one technique for everything. So why not free float? Then you don't have to think about what your hand's doing, because you always know. It's not going to be in one position, it's going to be just floating around all of them. It does take a little while longer to get used to begin with, but overall it'll leave you with a better technique, and that's what it's all about. Well, that's it for today, guys. So I really recommend start with a thinner pick, and then after a month or two move up to a thicker pick, and then again a little bit thicker, and then just decide from there. Do you like the sound and feel of thin picks? Do you want to go heavier? Do you like the give of thin picks, or do you want less give? It all depends on what sort of feel and sound you're after. But I really think that that's one of the most effective ways of holding a pick. I really think that with this free floating method, you won't just be great at playing chords, you won't just be great at shredding, you'll be equal at everything, and that's really what it's all about, becoming a well-rounded musician and guitarist. Okay, see you later. Well, that's it for today, everyone. Please like the video if you liked what you saw. Click below to subscribe if you want to see more, and please check out my last 2 videos.